Hello everyone, I'm Sabrina and I'm going to share my experience of my near-death experience, although it was a real death experience. It was for 3 minutes. What happened is I got really sick, and one thing after another led me into ICU in the hospital, and I had a perforated bowel, and there's a long story around how that happened and things that could have been prevented. But I'm going to stick to my experience of life after death because I died for 3 minutes. While I actually didn't know what had happened until I woke up. My mom said, "Did you know that you had died for 3 minutes? That they had to resuscitate you?" I had a cardiac arrest, and I said, "Oh my gosh, I do know." And everything just flooded, like my mind. It was like a download. And I said, I remember first I saw my past life, and I'm not sure how I know that it was a past life. I just know. There's just an awareness. Like, no one said, "This is your past life." Just, I was an older man, a Caucasian older man. I had crossed legs, and I was looking from the point of view of that man, myself. So I saw my really like spiffed up shoes. I was really a classy kind of guy, and I was on an airplane, and I had this understanding spiritually from a higher self point of view that it was going to crash and that was my death, but myself in the experience didn't know that. And so on the plane, it was like a really small plane but very classy. I must have had like lots of money. And this, I think, was like 1940s era, so I had money. And then right from there I jumped right into a white area, which there were 4 people wearing like white, and they were like decision makers. I never talked to them because there's no talking. It was like always you have this understanding, so you don't, it's not even, it's like telepathic but without words. It's just this constant understanding of what's happening and what you need to know. I saw the 4 people over to my left and over to like the center and the right of my vision. Huge, infinite white space, and infinite amounts of like what seemed to be like conveyor belts of wombs, just wombs, and but not like on a machine thing. It wasn't like machiney, but like it wrapped around like that. And instantly, from that point of view of like being in heaven, of my essence and energy being there, I immediately went into point of view of being a baby boy in a womb. And I'm just gonna say that, to insert that, I'm so attached to my mother and father in this life. So attached. Like, I really don't have a lot of attachments to a lot of things. I've done a lot of work through my life, a lot of karmic lessons that I've, gone through, and I've always thought, it's gonna be hard on her mostly, but she's pretty, of course it would be difficult, but I kept thinking of what's gonna happen to her. I'm gonna be up in like heaven space or a different dimension, constantly worried. And although I know that there's non-locality in quantum physics, so I'm sure I could be in all places at once, since we are part of the all and all expressions of the all. Anyway, back to being a baby boy. That was my next life. And from the point of view of I was a half black, half Caucasian baby boy, and I just remember like my little curly hair, and it was just, and I saw like from the point of view of the baby, and I saw like when you look through your hand like with a flashlight and you can see like kind of the blood and the vessels and stuff. I saw that from the womb. I don't know if you open your eyes near late in pregnancy or if your eyes are closed, but I think my eyes were open and I saw, because I did see it. And then I made an imprint, like my foot kind of kicked, but not kicked, just pushed against my mother's belly, and automatically with that it transitioned instantly. I was in the house where my mother-to-be was feeling my foot on her belly, and I had, instead of a point of view of in the belly, in the womb, now my point of view was like you know, from above, just kind of floating around in the room, and I could see that it was going to be a beautiful nursery. I think it was an office, and she was like changing it up, and there was a window, and it's an old house, because I kind of went through the house, but not like, the time isn't like I'm going through each layer or wall of the house. It's just like all of a sudden I'm outside, and I know I've gone through. So all of a sudden I'm outside, and I see my father to be, and he's a race car driver, or a motorcycle racer, and he's like got really cool like hair, and it's spiky. He reminds me of someone, like an actor, but I can't remember, or a singer. And I know that they're wealthy and they're really kind. I was going to be in a really, really, really awesome home, so I'm grateful for that. Thank you for the next life feeling pretty awesome. But however, before I went to see the father-to-be, as soon as I had that like push of my foot onto the belly, I instantly went to outside mode of the belly. So I was like floating around, and I think she felt something like an escape, like I had just left the body, and that was the miscarriage. And I think she had this like instinct there that was the end of that life to be, and so I was meant to come back, and that's it. Thank you for listening.
Wow. And can I just ask,
yeah.
How was it when you reintegrated back into your body after the NDE, like in this life?
Yeah, I don't recall. I can't remember at all how. I just know that things just, like, I was placed in places automatically. Like, you're here and then you're there. And I'll share in other videos, because I think I'm going to do this again. I've had many experiences where I'm told what life after death is in non-male, non-female voices, speaking in English, I think, because that's what I needed at the time. Now it's just, you know, an understanding, and that's where I'm at with understanding.
Wow. And I'm just curious too, like, what do you feel was the higher purpose of your NDE? Like, what did it teach you?
Well, it was a really difficult thing I went through. I was in ICU for like 6 weeks. I've had Crohn's and ankylosing spondylitis and OCD all my life, and it's been really challenging. And on top of that, I was brutally assaulted and attacked. 2 men are in jail for 3 years and 4 years. So I've gone through quite a lot of karmic lessons. I don't like to call it cleansing, because there's no judgment. It's just what I have to go through to be in my becoming constantly. And what was the question?
What do you feel was the higher purpose?
Oh, right, the higher purpose. That's something that is always unfolded for me. I didn't know. You know what I did know? I think we always know, actually. I had an understanding that I had to share this and make this video, but I waited until today. It just had to happen today, and it was a suggestion by you, Flora. So I'm so happy that you had me do this spontaneously, and thank you to everyone, Amanda and Faith and Leah, who are here, that I got to express this. I think the higher purpose is that, you know, separation is an illusion, so my helping someone have no fear of death, and to know that, you know, attachments cause suffering. They really do. Everything is impermanence. And to know that, well, you know, when I was in that womb, there is no word that can come close to anything, to what I felt, that peace and that love, that in the womb. Like, the mother and baby are so close, and the creation energy is so powerful. So I'd like to say it's creation energy / love times infinity, and there are no words to describe it. And I think we don't have enough words for things that are out of this world experiences, because not enough of us have experienced it to describe it in words like, this is the color red, and this is feeling good, and this is feeling, you know, this is the rain. It's just, but more and more of us are going to. I do feel that as a higher purpose, that this is opening more doors to more people sharing, and more people will have these experiences. I am certain of that. How, I'm not sure how I'm certain, but like I said, there's these understandings that I get.
It seems too like we can just end the video there, or I have a feeling that like you experiencing that womb love is part of the love that you get to give to the world. And,
It's true. I feel it
blessing.
right now. I feel it right now. It's so, I can't describe it in words, but I feel it.
And imagine if we could all feel that love of God, Goddess, like
Wow.
all the time.
It's definitely happening, and there's a bit of a clash. Instagram wanted to ban the hashtag goddess, but yeah, that's not going to happen. There are a lot of people that won't let that happen, and I'm glad to hear. I mean, really, there is no sex in creation that's above sex. There's no male or female. It's just the all. But the feminine energy is really strong right now, because that's so close to creation. That womb, that is, I think, the ultimate place of creation.
Wow. And I have one more question.
Yeah.
What did you learn from your life as the Caucasian businessman from the 40s? Like, what do you feel was the purpose of receiving that download?
I think that in that life I had a lot of greed and a lot of suffering and neglect from parents. I felt, this is what's coming to me now actually, and I've learned those lessons in this lifetime about the fact that we're never alone. I know it sounds like it's been said, but as him, I felt neglected by my parents, and I felt that I needed things to happen for me. I needed money, I needed nice shoes, nice clothes, nice lifestyle, jet set lifestyle. I had women whenever I wanted them. Beautiful. I think there was like a Marilyn Monroe like sitting next to me, because I do remember seeing that. I didn't mention that, but I saw like pantyhose and I was checking them out. So I was like, you know, but that kind of like the lust and not the love, those are, it's impermanent, and I think that lesson had to really come home, and it happened in this life.
It's so beautiful. It's almost like you learned, like, in that life what it's like if you don't feel that love from
Exactly.
God, Goddess.
Yeah,
through
it's
parents.
empty. It's very empty. You feel very empty. You feel like there's a hole, and you try anything and everything. A lot of people do try to fill that with things that are just happenings instead of beings that make you become, and you're becoming, because it's always there. It's always been there. Always will be.
Wow. And
yeah, I feel like ever since that experience, and this presence, this energy of the womb is with me right now. It's talked about a lot right now, and I'm excited about it. It's like I almost don't even know how to speak in yesterday's and tomorrow's. Like, I speak with my mother, and